Steve-O got the Midas touch.
Y'all, so I also wanted to speak on projecting when it comes to being a business owner or even just working somewhere. A lot of times people don't realize when they are projecting on other people the things, insecurities, thoughts, and stuff like that they're going through. Projection is actually a normal experience for people, but it's when you're doing it in a negative way that's really a shit show for most people, because a lot of people don't realize that they just like assholes. And it's like, okay, calm down, because sometimes you may be going through something and you may feel like, okay, I'm really going through something, I don't want to be bothered. But instead of communicating and saying that, a lot of people, or not even just communicating, but just being in a space of still having to get some shit done, and you're already in a place of like, you're mad, you got an issue, you don't really feel like working, but you still came to work, because if not, you won't have no money, and I feel it. But at the same time, I feel like you do have to learn how to calm yourself. You do have to learn what are triggers for you, especially in the workplace, to where you're able to just vibe and go along for the ride of what happens. Because a lot of times we are going through our own personal things, and I don't think that a lot of people think about how they push that on to other people while they're going through it. You could be a waitress going through something, and then everybody calling your name, looking for food, asking these questions. But we don't realize that every time you meet somebody, you're kind of starting over again. And I don't think a lot of people look at it from their perspective, because you got to think, a lot of times we lived in our bodies for so long. We've been us our whole life. All you can do is be yourself in a lot of people's head. But sometimes you have to give grace and realize, like, a lot of people are just meeting you for the first time. They don't have a preconceived notion, even though a lot of times we think people do based off prior judgments. But in reality, no, a lot of people don't fucking know you. So it's not cool to be rude and fucked up and have attitude towards certain people that didn't even do nothing to you. These people could genuinely be there to like experience, either doing business with you, being your friend, whatever. But I feel like sometimes people make it a point to be not just rude, but pass on negative energy based on their prior trauma. And I feel like people have to start being aware of that. Be aware, like, if you're not having a good day, be able to say that, because I promise you, a person will respect you more. Especially me, I will respect the person that'll let me know, like, look, I'm so sorry, I'm not having a good day today, I'm not really in the mood, rather than them taking that out on the person on the receiving end. That's not cool at all. Like, that's not cool. And I feel like a lot of times that's why we have all these senseless killings, and we'll be wondering, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why are people just waking up one day and killing people? But in reality, these people are either getting bullied, they're going through shit, they just got fired from their job, they don't know how they go feed their family, they into it with their family, they don't have nowhere to go at night. And a lot of times we have to really make sure that people are aware of where they are, because then people just snap, and we wondering, like, wait, what the hell, like, what are you snapping for? And we look around like, whoa, hold on, what's going on? But in reality, these people are going through way deeper things, but they got to know how to communicate. Because at some point, I do feel like the person on the receiving end has to know how to read the signs. But as a grown adult, you also have to know how to put it on you sometimes too. Like, take your accountability, be responsible, say, you know what, I'm not having a good day today. Today is not the right time to talk. Now, if people don't respect that, that's on them. But I do think that it's important to give grace and realize that everybody is just experiencing you. Even if you knew somebody for a very long time, it's not right to have that expectation on them, like they're supposed to just know exactly or walk on eggshells around you. Like, it's very important to let people know sometimes, like, look, this is what I'm focused on right now. And sometimes it real hurt because it is a form of rejection, but it's okay. I feel like it's way more respect there. You just let person know, like, look, I fuck with you, I love hanging out with you, and this is boundaries. But you know what, you get on my, like, I don't have the patience today. Like, I just went through something, I don't really want to get into detail, I really just don't have the patience. Like, and I feel like it's important that we have these conversations and make that middle ground, because people think that it separates people, but it actually brings people together once you understand what type of person you're dealing with and you learn how to go around that. Like, have you ever met somebody that just naturally seems to have an attitude? And sometimes in those situations with me, like when it comes to my mom, when me and her get into it, I would really just let her know exactly how I feel, instead of me like entertaining the energy she's giving off when she has an attitude. I take a second to think, like, okay, you know what, I know she has high blood pressure, I know she's getting older, I know she's going through certain things within her, that may have pushed her to be a little on edge than she used to be. So I take that into account. I give that grace and say, look, even though you get on my nerve, I actually do understand. I can sit here and humble myself a little bit and neutralize. I like that word. We don't like the humble word, but I like neutralize. We can neutralize ourselves and realize, you know what? It's not me. It's them. And it's important, and you got to know when to use this too. Like, truly, sometimes I think it's important to say, like, you know what, it's really not me. And it's important to separate yourself from that, because when we take things personal, I do feel like you can get hurt. I'm a Scorpio. Like, I can go up and through there. Like, I can take it deep, real deep. But sometimes I really do separate myself. Like, I will literally say to myself, look, you are well enough to know this has nothing to do with you. The problem this person is going through is not your fault. But what you can do is get them some grace today, because if not, you're going to take on the energy they're giving to you, and you're going to give it back to them, and then y'all going to be going back and forth with the same old energy. And it's not really worth it, because that's how people end up dead. And that's how people end up in a lot of situations where, oh, I didn't know it was going to go that far. Like, you didn't know what they was going through either. You didn't know what I was going through. And I feel like this is important on both sides. Like, so my message right now is basically just give that grace to yourself and the other person to understand sometimes when it's not you. And don't look at it like you hard, because don't look at it like you soft, because a lot of times I feel like the soft thing to do is just to go off and da. When you have self-control and you can literally say, like, you know what, they probably going through something else. It ain't got shit to do with me. Like, I don't, like, all right, bro, like, whatever. You know, this ain't got nothing to do with me, and I'm here for you when you need me. But if you got the attitude, I will literally just remove myself. Like, I'm not tripping at all. Talk to me when you're doing better. I pray for you. You know, do you need to talk first and foremost? I make that a point personally with people too. Like, do you need to talk? Because let me know. Like, don't, you know, and sometimes give people grace, walk them through it, because a lot of people, especially our people, we don't really know. Like, sometimes with our people, we don't know if we're pushing a boundary, or if it's fun and games, or if it's like, you don't know, because everybody grew up different. So some things that people say could be like really pushing a boundary, and you don't know. And some things people are cool with, or sometimes people really do just communicate in a different way than you. So sometimes you just gotta say something like, hey, how you doing today? So simple. Like, don't even assume somebody's energy is off. Just ask, how you doing today? What's going on with you? You know, and it's okay. And learn to communicate where you at with it, and let them also communicate and receive where you coming from with it. And I just think that's important, especially in the space of business, because sometimes people really be going through stuff. Like, I can't tell y'all how many times people I've done transportation for got in my car and literally were like, I could just feel straight off the bat that they were having a bad day. And no, I didn't get mad at them. I didn't feel like, oh, well, because it would form in certain ways. Like, okay, they could be on the phone or texting somebody going back and forth, and they might have missed the turn that they told me to turn. So I just let them know, like, hey, I just need the address instead. So, you know, I don't want to keep asking them, like, okay, do I turn here or there? I just got the address. We can minimize the issue. And how you doing today? You know, that's a very powerful thing, especially in business. Make sure that you are checking and asking people how they're doing. And if they real, they go tell you, like, look, I'm not having a good day. Today is not good for me. I wanted to come to this appointment. Made me feel better, whether it's hair, nails, whatever. Or sometimes you don't realize when your business could be a stress reliever for people, and you may think that they're coming in with attitude, but in reality, this is literally their stress reliever. Like, the fact that they were able to come here, you know, they may still carry that energy from whatever happened, but the fact that they could come to you and be like, okay, I can depend on you in this moment, and you don't have to know what I'm going through right now, but I'm depending on you, and I just need you to give me grace. I think that's so important, just those boundaries, because people do take it personal. Like, in business, I done seen it so many times, man. I done experienced it. People will take it personal when you're going through something, and in reality, it ain't nothing. Like, it's nothing. Like, you know, you could be late picking your kid up from school, and somebody don't know. As a driver, I ask, like, hey, how you doing today? And really let them know and let them feel comfortable enough to understand, like, I'm here for you, and I'm here, you know, I may have just been going through something. But when I hop into this car, when I pick up these people, I let them know, like, I'm here for you, you know. What do you need out of that? You know, and it has really served me so well, because people would choose me because they feel like, okay, you know what? When I go to her, I don't have to put my problems on hold. Like, whatever I'm going through right now is real. Like, I'm really going through it in real time. And I let them know, like, to set that boundary. And if you're not feeling good today, let me know. I respect it. Because I have a customer too, a client, where She'll literally let me know, like, I'm sorry, I don't feel like coming to the door today. I'm just gonna leave them papers at the door because, like, you know, like she not having a good day. She want to get some extra rest. Or if I text her on the weekend, I respect it so much because instead of you getting mad and having a passive aggressive attitude, she'll literally tell me like, I'm just trying to get some sleep. My baby was up all night. I'm just gonna go to sleep today. I'll hit you up tomorrow. Cool. Like, that's perfectly fine, you know. And I had no problem with that. So just my messages as a business owner: stop taking things personal. Understand, like, these people you have a relationship with, but at the same time you gotta understand that boundary. And as the business owner, you have to be the one to set it first. Say that with me. As the business owner, be the one to set the boundary first. You decide where you go with your clients. You decide where you're taking them. You decide what's going on. You decide the niche in your business, as in, like, what is something that you offer that's like deep, on a deep level, and what's something you offer on just like you talented. You know, this is my skill. Because some people, even in music, they sing on a really deep level. So imagine doing music and you singing like Ride Wave. What do you expect your clients to come to you with? They're gonna come to Ride Wave on some deep stuff. Like, they're not about to come to him on like some turning up. They come to him like, man, I really went through something and you really helped me get out of it. And you got to understand that about yourself too. So sometimes it's not only important to read the room, but read yourself first. So you just know, like, in my business, what vibe do I give off? What am I giving? Like, what vibe do I give? I know I give a very inviting, peaceful, cool, like, calm, collected, supportive vibe. And I love that. I've embraced it. And you got to know that too. You got to know sometimes, like, if your client's got an attitude, 9 times out of 10 it's because you have attitude. And sometimes you got to look and you got to, okay, reevaluate. And it's okay. But yeah, that's my message for today. Love y'all. I'm about to go to school, sleep, so I can get this money in the morning. All right.
I'm used to it. Shit like a test, so no time for a boo with it. You put your time in you, and then I bet you get you with it.